Getting any answer to Charlie's. June went inside the screened-in area there and knocked on the door. She's going to go back and knock on the other door. So I just want to make sure he's okay. I'm worried about him, frankly. Because normally he would return calls, or I would hear somebody from some of the other students. And we've been having these committee meetings. He came to one of them, so about a month and a half ago, so I'm just worried. I've been by here now, it's probably the fourth time. Now we usually get some landscaping stuff from this fellow right here. Second thought, no, wait a second, we must have passed his street already. Well, go down here and turn around. We passed his street already, I think, pretty sure. Yeah, I'll just keep going. I want to show you the end of it. It's right just down here. This is where I used to bring the cars to get them worked on. Down here, years ago. And there's a good man who lives right in that little house right there that you're looking at. Closed down here. This is Chisel Bridge. This is where.
Why'd they close that?
Well, because of the bridge and traffic on the other side. Yeah. Well, they got it closed. Yeah, this is where we got the cars worked on here with Larry Hensley and the friends and the gentleman that lives right there. All good friends. Good people. Now we're going out there, and I don't think it's this first road. We must have passed it, and I had my eye on the camera instead of on the road.
Another reason why you shouldn't be filming while driving.
Well, I don't anymore. I've stopped.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Well, I've stopped now when I'm driving. This is not different. I'm not driving. You're driving. Well, I know. I got people watching me. Yeah, chickens and pigs there. Yeah. Now that's Warren Drive. See, we could probably go up that one, but I'm not going to do it there because I don't think that takes you to Charlie Johnson's. This is the next street up here, I think. the truck coming back from UK.
Must be a pretty new development that we're closing that off there. I know we were good
Yeah. Yeah, they stopped it all there. Now, let's see. No, this is not it. It's the next one up here. I just let it slip my brain.
Main Street.
Yeah, it's on Main Street. How can I miss Main Street? Because that's fiddling with the phone. Beautiful down here. Beautiful old houses up on the hilltop over there. Go straight on back. And when you get back here, you'll see the flag there. That's his property right up through there. And then you want to make a little left. Realize that's this guy out here. Come on back, folks. Now, make a little left and then right up the little tiny driveway here.
Seriously.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I do it all the time. That's his house right there. Now here's the big favor. You need to stop right here because I can't get out and get down there and go down and knock on the door there. Well, yeah, you can turn around if you want to. Now see the railroad tracks right up here. Here's Charlie's garden right here. But the railroad tracks is right up there. Isn't that beautiful down through there? Let me get a picture down through here. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, oh, it's beautiful. Charlie Johnson, graduated in 1961, Simon Kenton High School.
Little version of the Swiss Alps.
Yeah,
Germany.
really unique. And he mows all this back up through here. You gotta ride
The
it.
dog does it. I mean,
No, no dogs.
There's a door right there.
But that's not the one he uses. It's on this end down here. Okay, now you can stop right here.
They
Sorry.
come and jump over with
No, he's not gonna think that.
us. Can we go further or not?
No, just put in park. Bless your heart.
Okay.
I remember when we got this established, the park, Pioneer Park, and Del Run Lake, thanks to Judge Dressman and the Fiscal Court in Kenton County, and the funds from Congressman John Breckinridge helping out in Washington when I was his field representative. We helped to get the funds 90-10, 90 federal money and 10% local money. And what a beautiful lake and a beautiful park. Thanks to Floyd Ellis, the soil conservationist, and all the people that helped me across northern Kentucky to get this built, get the funds with Congressman John Breckinridge, a great friend and great congressman. And there you see the dam, the Del Run Lake. Beautiful. Great place to fish. Some great fishing out there. Drive all across the dam. I'll take pictures on the lakeside now. And take pictures on the dam side coming back over. Beautiful. Recreation and fishing. It's going down like a rumpty truck down there. You know, headache.
It's really
The ducks must have moved over there down in front there now. There they are. That's a good close-up of them. So yeah, we like Del Run Lake, Big Daddy, Big John. Thanks for giving us a pond to swim in.
go in the lake.
Don't want to go in the lake, no. Isn't that neat though?
Say that there's now more development with picnic shelter.
Yeah, got some volleyball nets over here and things. Little picnic area over here on the right.
I'm talking about where
All right on the lake, yeah. Now you can see all the way over there to almost to the highway. Isn't that unique? Thanks for the Parks and Recreation Department of Judge Knockelman and the Fiscal Court of Kenton County for keeping it up good. They do a great job. Give them credit for that. your lake, folks. The citizens of Kentucky, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, Kenton County, Pioneer Lake, Mill Run Lake, and Pioneer Park. All pets must be on a leash, including me. Isn't that beautiful? In the yards. Railroad tracks going over the top here. Back out to Highway 17. That's the first time you've been up there in a good while, isn't it? Do you remember it at all?
David is saying that Number 4, God knows what you say. Verse 4 says, for there is not a word on my tongue, O Lord, but you know about the God. Now that's kind of frightening, isn't it? Have you said any words this week that it kind of embarrasses you that God knows them? I mean, I'm not trying to make you feel guilty, but that's an awesome thought, isn't it? God knows everything that you say. And finally, God knows what you need. In verse 5 it says, you have hedged me behind and before and laid your hand upon me. This is an Old Testament idiom that is rich in imagery. He says, you have hedged me in like a city that is under siege. You are providing for and caring for me even when you do not realize it. He knows your past. Thou hast hedged me in from behind. He knows your future. Thou hast hedged me in before. And he knows your present. You have your hand on me right now. So stop and think about it for a moment. How important are you? God knows you. He knows what you do, what you think, where you go, what you say, what you need. And when David thought about this, it was so overwhelming to him that we read in verse 6, he said, such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high and I cannot attain it. David said, there's only one thing left for me to do when I finally realize, God, that you knew me. And out of all the billions of souls on this earth, you knew me better than I know myself, better than I am known by anybody else. And God, you know me. He said, it is so wonderful. I can do nothing but fall down and worship. You know, sometimes truth about God is like that. There's no way to respond to it. There's no way to write a critique of it. When you just finally understand it, you just want to fall on your knees and say, God, you are too wonderful. How can I comprehend it? So the next time you're wondering about your own self-worth, if you're a believer in Jesus Christ, you can put your shoulders back and say, hey, God knows me. He knows me. But the second thing the psalmist wants us to understand is that God is near you. He not only knows you, he is near you. For in these next 6 verses, he asks the questions, where can I go from your spirit? Or where can I flee from your presence? Quite often these verses have been used as an evangelistic thrust to help us understand that we can never get away from the hound of heaven. That he will chase us down the corridors of life until finally he catches us. And that like Jonah of old, we can never get on a ship that will take us away from God. He will always find us. That's true. There's a wonderful, positive application of this portion of God's Word as well. For what David, I believe, is talking about is not so much the pursuing God, but the present God. He is saying to us that God is everywhere. He is not everything, that's pantheism, but God is everywhere. And in his poetic style, he researches the universe as if to go through a checklist and find out if there's any place that he could imagine where God might not be. He says, I've gone to the heavens and I've gone to Sheol, and God, you are there. Here are the two extremes, the heights of heaven and the depths of Sheol, the place of living in light and the abode of death and darkness. God, when I go there, you are there. And it surprises some of you, I know, to think of God in Sheol. Let me remind you, God will be with you wherever you go from now throughout eternity. Even as the one around whom you have wrapped your worship and love, or as the thought in your mind throughout eternal days of the one you rejected all the time you had a chance to know him. God will be in your mind forever. In heaven or in Sheol, says the psalmist. And then he adds, not only is God in the heights and in the depths, but he is in the east and in the west. There's a curious expression in this next verse. He says, if I take the wings of the morning, you are there. And if I dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even your hand shall be there. And if you study that in the language of the Hebrew, what you'll find out is that the wings of the morning are a reference to the east, where the sun comes up. And if I go to the furthest parts of the sea is a reference to the Mediterranean Sea, which was further west than Palestine. And David is looking at the universe as he sees it, and he says, God, you're in the east and you're in the west. I can't get away from you. You're everywhere. You're on the land and you're on the sea. And then he says, well, maybe if God could somehow be isolated to darkness and light, there would be a way that he could I say, surely the darkness shall fall on me, even the night shall be light about me. Indeed, the darkness shall not hide from you, but the night shines as the day. Now watch this. The darkness and the light are both alike to you. God, you're in the light and you're in the darkness, because with God there is no difference between light and darkness. And the point that the psalmist wants us to get is this. Listen up now. God is near you, wherever you go. You can't get away from him. You can't go to a place where God is not. And I don't know what that does for you. Well, I'll tell you what. If you get your worth from being near important people, you are near God. And he is near you. And what that means, and the exciting truth is, that he is immediately accessible to you wherever you go. When God designed to send his Son into this world as his picture to us of who God is, a name was given to him that we had cherished, especially at Christmas time. He's called what? Emmanuel. And what is that? God with us. God is with us. And the psalmist wants us to understand that you cannot hide from God, but he also wants us to understand that God is near us. So you get your self-esteem from the fact that God knows you and that God is near you. Here's the third one, and basically this is the centerpiece of the whole psalm. You get your self-esteem and your self-worth from this truth. God made you. He created you. You are the incredible creation of the infinite God. And I almost just took this section and put all the rest of it aside and just dealt with this. Because what a wonderful truth it is. The psalmist says, oh God, you have formed me and my inward parts and covered me in my mother's womb. St. Augustine once wrote, he said, men go abroad to wonder at the height of the mountains, and at the huge waves of the sea, and the long courses of the rivers, at the vast compass of the ocean, and at the circular motion of the stars, and they pass by themselves in their wonder. Isn't it interesting that in the first 6 verses, the psalmist is talking about God's omniscience?
Jack and Amy are working hard on the shed there.
In the second section, he's talking about God's
building it, rebuilding it from the storm, doing a great job.
About God's omnipotence. He's all powerful. Now listen.
And we're listening to a great sermon at the same time.
He didn't choose the
Praise the Lord.
stars and galaxies and planets, but he chose the crowning creation.
Cut.
And he says, let me
Well, this is November I guess this is the 8th, isn't it, or 7th? I think it's the 7th or 8th. This is Thursday anyway. How's that hot chocolate, Amy? And don't forget to listen to WIOK 107.5 FM on the radio station. Tri-State Gospel, Post Office Box 50, Falmouth, Kentucky, 41040 zip code, and www.begottensson.com and www.godspeaks.com.
Ready?
Kentucky County, Kentucky County, a place to work and play. Oh, Kentucky County, a place I want to stay. Its far north gate and southern trail came Walker, Clark, Boone, and Kenton too. Kentucky, he is calling, a place of history. Indian hunting grounds, pioneer explorers, on Kentucky flatboats they came. Eastern foothills, western flatlands, central bluegrass, and clearwater waves. First there were 3, now 120. The counties came with a horseback ride. River gamblers, steamboat cruisers, railroads and wagon trains. Wilderness trails to auto roads, stubble fields wireless to the VCR. Without Kentucky's preacher, we'd wonder where we are. Speaking of that, the technology has changed so much. What we have to do since 1988, that it's a whole new world of technology and a whole new world of dangers for all of us, including our children, that we must be really alert to. North and south, they came a-calling. Lincoln and Davis, we provided both. Blood was shed throughout her valleys. War and feuds, she was their host. Courthouse shining, pride goes with her. Times are tough but full of play. Schoolhouse yearning, workers not earning. The time to change for a better way. Mammoth Cave is her natural wonder, but her beauty lies in her diverse lands. From her man-made lakes to streams and rivers, Kentucky holds the heaven's hand. Yearlings growing, lovers knowing, springtime's coming to my Kentucky home. A history lesson we've been given. The time has come for us to grow. The Commonwealth of Kentucky. We just had our last major election in a presidential race like no one's ever seen before. Thank goodness that godly principles were answered by the citizens of Kentucky and the citizens of America as a whole. Now we have to join together, give praise to the Lord, and remember, without Jesus, we can accomplish nothing. Without Jesus, we can accomplish nothing. It's the Holy Spirit's job to convict. It's God's job to judge. It's our job to love. Red, yellow, brown, black, and white, we're all precious in Jesus' sight. God bless you all. Hope you enjoyed the show today on Travels with Dr. John Stephenson. Don't forget to listen to WIOK 107.5 FM on the radio dial, Tri-State Gospel with Neal and Jan Hammond. Post Office Box 50, Falmouth, Kentucky, zip code 41040. And don't forget, www.begottenson.com. Jack and Amy, wonderful folks. Wonderful folks. God bless them all. And God bless my wonderful wife, Miss June.